Imagine the feeling when the entire NASCAR world had just watched Kyle Busch celebrating on the track, only for his name to suddenly appear beside the words "autopsy report" just days later. It was not a high-speed accident, not a horrifying crash on the racetrack, but medical details that shocked many people more than any crash of his career ever had.
They say that it was sepsis brought on by a severe case of pneumonia. How common, first of all, is sepsis, and how does pneumonia turn into it?
From a legend viewed as one of the toughest and most resilient drivers in NASCAR, Kyle Busch was said to have gone through deeply unusual final hours behind hospital doors. What truly happened to Rowdy, and why did the information that surfaced afterward send such powerful shockwaves through the NASCAR community?
Coughing up blood is a sign of that infection getting severe, and so that's the point where it's like, we need to get medical attention, and they did at that point. So, it's, again, looking at that infection.
Kyle Busch's condition reportedly began worsening after the Watkins Glen race on May 10, 2026. At first, the symptoms were believed to be nothing more than a common sinus infection. The constant coughing soon became more severe, accompanied by chest pain and unusual exhaustion. Even with his physical condition becoming unstable, Kyle Busch continued following an intense racing and work schedule. People inside the garage area said he repeatedly had to stop talking because of coughing, while also frequently drinking medicine and hot water between technical meetings. Even so, the driver refused to take complete rest. On May 15, 2026, Kyle Busch continued competing in the Truck Series race at Dover. Regardless of the health concerns raised by several members of the racing team, he still secured a convincing victory. At the time, nobody imagined that it would become the final win of the career of one of NASCAR's most famous drivers.
Kyle, he was a special man. This one is for Kyle. For Kyle, for Samantha, for Braxton, for Lennox, for all his family.
During the following days, Kyle Busch still appeared at several NASCAR-related activities and technical work sessions. Even so, people who interacted closely with him said his face looked noticeably paler than usual. His movements had slowed considerably, and he reportedly needed to sit down and rest multiple times during meetings with the racing team. By May 20, 2026, the situation suddenly became far more serious. Kyle Busch was at the Chevrolet Technical Center in Concord, North Carolina, participating in a simulator session for technical preparation. Everything initially appeared normal before he unexpectedly left the work area and entered the restroom. What happened afterward quickly became the center of attention for multiple media outlets. According to details from the 911 call later referenced in reports, people inside the technical center heard violent coughing coming from the restroom before Kyle Busch collapsed unconscious onto the floor.
I've got an individual that's shortness of breath, very hot, thinks he's going to pass out, and is producing a little bit of blood, coughing up some blood.
Information from the emergency call stated that the NASCAR driver was suffering from severe breathing difficulties and repeatedly said that his body felt unbearably hot. Other details drew heavy attention after reports mentioned that Kyle Busch had coughed up blood shortly before losing consciousness. Medical personnel arrived only minutes later. Kyle Busch was rushed to a hospital in Charlotte, North Carolina, in critical condition. Doctors immediately began respiratory support and multiple emergency treatment procedures upon his arrival. The infection was reportedly spreading far faster than the medical team had initially anticipated. On May 21, 2026, the family confirmed that Kyle Busch had passed away at the age of 41. The news immediately shocked the entire NASCAR community. Many drivers, racing teams, and major figures within the motorsports world posted tribute messages only hours after the information became public. 2 days later, the official cause of death was announced by the family. According to the statement released to the media, Kyle Busch died from severe pneumonia that progressed into sepsis and acute multi-organ failure. The illness was described as advancing extremely quickly within a short period after his condition became critical. Kyle Busch's funeral was held privately with family members and close friends in attendance. Alongside the funeral, Several memorial activities were also organized at Charlotte Motor Speedway and Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Fans brought flowers, candles, and NASCAR memorabilia to place around the memorial areas. During the Coca-Cola 600 race held on May 25, 2026, many teams presented special tributes in memory of Kyle Busch. His familiar car number and name appeared throughout the garage area and on the Speedway's electronic displays. A moment of silence was also observed before the race began. The deeply unusual final days of Kyle Busch brought the journey of one of NASCAR's most prominent drivers to an end. To fully understand the man and the career behind the name, it is necessary to look back at his early beginnings in Las Vegas. Childhood. Kyle Busch was born on May 2, 1985 in Las Vegas, into a family with a deep passion for speed and racing cars. Growing up in that environment allowed Kyle Busch to become familiar with motorsport culture in the United States at an early age, especially the local racing events frequently held around the Nevada area. Kyle Busch's father was Tom Busch, a man with mechanical experience and a strong love for racing. His mother, Gay Busch, also constantly supported her children in motorsport activities. The Busch family spent most weekends at racetracks and local garages around Las Vegas. Alongside Kyle Busch was his older brother, Kurt Busch, who later became a NASCAR Cup Series champion. Growing up with a brother competing professionally in racing created an intensely competitive environment within the Busch family. The two brothers regularly practiced and participated in small races from a very young age. Kyle Busch first became involved with go-karts at the age of 6. Most of the first vehicles he used were personally repaired and prepared by his father. After only a short time competing in youth events, Busch quickly drew attention because of his car control skills and a racing style far more aggressive than many competitors his age. As a child, Kyle Busch continuously won multiple local go-kart races. Drivers who competed during that same period said Busch always raced in a very bold manner, frequently attempting passes in difficult positions. That style gradually shaped the well-known racing personality he became famous for later. Kyle Busch did not limit himself to go-karts. At a very young age, he also moved into several other forms of racing. He competed in Legends Car and late model events in Nevada, before advancing deeper into the professional racing system in the United States. His steady performances quickly brought attention to the Busch name. During his teenage years, Kyle Busch was considered one of the most promising young talents in local racing competitions. Racing teams began showing interest in him because of his ability to adapt well to different types of cars. Busch also frequently defeated drivers who were older than him. One of the major factors behind Kyle Busch's rapid development was the competitive environment within his family. Kurt Busch had already started building his reputation in NASCAR and became a direct role model for Kyle Busch to learn from. The two brothers regularly exchanged technical knowledge and racing experience after each event. Even with his outstanding talent, Kyle Busch quickly became known for his fiery and aggressive personality. Starting from the youth racing levels, he was repeatedly involved in clashes with competitors because of his uncompromising driving style. Some viewed Busch as an extremely talented driver, while others considered him overly aggressive. In 2001, Kyle Busch officially made his NASCAR debut at a very young age. Becoming part of the NASCAR system quickly opened a major turning point in the career of the Las Vegas-born driver. From that moment, Busch entered a far more intense competitive environment than the local racing scene he had previously experienced. Kyle Busch's early performances quickly attracted attention from major racing teams. He earned praise for his consistent speed, strong car control, and aggressive competitive mindset. Even with limited experience, Busch regularly created bold, overtaking moments on the track. Not long afterward, Kyle Busch received the opportunity to join Hendrick Motorsports, one of NASCAR's most prestigious racing organizations. This was considered a major step forward for a young driver with limited experience. Competing in a professional environment allowed Busch to develop much faster than before. In 2005, Kyle Busch officially entered the NASCAR Cup Series with Hendrick Motorsports. Within a short time, the young driver made a strong impression through his speed and aggressive racing style. Busch quickly became a name frequently appearing in battles for the leading positions. The nickname Rowdy also became closely associated with Kyle Busch during this period. On the racetrack, he regularly made aggressive moves and showed no hesitation in making contact with older competitors. That approach brought Busch massive attention from fans, while also creating significant controversy. Throughout many of the early races in his career, Kyle Busch repeatedly became involved in controversial situations. Several veteran drivers openly criticized his racing style as reckless and lacking control. Even so, that high-pressure driving approach helped Busch become one of the standout names in NASCAR at the time. Beyond his speed on the track, Kyle Busch also became known for his straightforward personality when speaking to the media. He often responded directly to criticism instead of avoiding it. This caused Busch's image to generate sharply divided opinions throughout the NASCAR community for a long time. While facing constant controversy, Kyle Busch continued improving his results season after season. He gradually proved his ability to compete at NASCAR's highest level through major victories. His adaptability across many types of racetracks also helped Busch receive increasing respect. One of the notable milestones early in his career was winning the Nationwide Series Championship in 2009, a competition now known as the Xfinity Series. That title helped Kyle Busch solidify his position in NASCAR and proved that he was known not only for his strong personality, but also for genuine racing ability. The following years saw the driver known as Rowdy enter the most successful era of his career on American racetracks. Peak achievements. Kyle Busch is considered one of the rare, truly complete drivers of modern NASCAR. He has been able to compete effectively on superspeedways, short tracks, road courses, and intermediate tracks alike. His ability to control the car under intense pressure regularly allowed Busch to make the difference during the most critical moments of a race. Not long after joining the group of top drivers, Kyle Busch began setting a series of remarkable milestones. Consecutive victories in the Cup Series caused his name to appear constantly across NASCAR media coverage. From being viewed as a controversial driver, Busch gradually earned recognition as a legitimate championship contender. One of the biggest turning points of his career came when Kyle Busch won his first NASCAR Cup Series championship in 2015. The achievement attracted major attention because Busch had previously been forced to step away from competition due to a serious injury before making a powerful return later in the season. Kyle Busch's comeback during the 2015 season was viewed by many as one of the most impressive recoveries in modern NASCAR. After spending time recovering from leg and foot injuries, Busch quickly regained his form and continuously collected victories to qualify for the season-ending playoff round. At the championship-deciding race, Kyle Busch displayed steady form and maintained a competitive position throughout the event. Once he crossed the finish line, the driver known by the nickname Rowdy officially became a NASCAR Cup Series champion for the first time in his career, after years of being considered one of the top contenders. The 2015 title significantly changed Kyle Busch's image within the NASCAR community. He was no longer recognized only for his fiery personality or incidents on the racetrack. Instead, Busch started being acknowledged as a driver capable of maintaining elite-level success over a long period. After winning his first championship, Kyle Busch continued maintaining strong form across many seasons. He consistently earned victories in the Cup Series, Xfinity Series, and Truck Series. Competing simultaneously in multiple divisions demonstrated the remarkable adaptability of the Las Vegas-born driver. One of the most outstanding aspects of Kyle Busch's career is the enormous number of victories across NASCAR's three major divisions. His total number of wins surpassed 230, a record regarded as the highest in the history of NASCAR's professional system. Very few drivers have managed to come close to that milestone. Kyle Busch also became famous for his ability to win on many different types of racetracks. He became the first driver to secure victories at every Cup Series track he had competed on. The accomplishment reflected a level of complete adaptability rarely seen in modern NASCAR history. Beyond individual victories, Busch also achieved the triple threat accomplishment multiple times. This refers to a driver winning the Cup Series, Xfinity Series, and Truck Series all within the same race weekend. The achievement highlighted the extremely intense competitive pace Kyle Busch maintained during the peak of his career. Very few NASCAR drivers have been capable of maintaining a schedule as demanding as Kyle Busch's. There were weekends when he competed consecutively across all three divisions with only limited rest between races. Even so, Busch maintained consistent speed and frequently fought for victories. The period racing for Joe Gibbs Racing is widely considered the most successful chapter of Kyle Busch's career. There, he earned the majority of his career victories while building the image of one of NASCAR's most consistent drivers. His relationship with the team lasted across multiple seasons. After leaving Joe Gibbs Racing, Kyle Busch continued drawing attention when he joined Richard Childress Racing. The decision to switch teams created major debate throughout the NASCAR community. Busch quickly proved his adaptability through positive results with the new organization. Entering the 2026 season, Kyle Busch continued showing his ability to compete at the highest level. He earned the pole position for the Daytona 501 of NASCAR's most prestigious events. The achievement showed that the 41-year-old driver still maintained impressive speed and car control. Kyle Busch's legacy is not defined only by statistics or championships on the racetrack. His family life, charitable activities, and influence beyond NASCAR also contributed to the unique image of the driver known as Rowdy. Family life. Within the NASCAR community, Kyle Busch was viewed as a symbol of fierce competitiveness and relentless determination. Even with the controversy surrounding his strong personality, Busch earned widespread respect because of his ability to compete at the highest level for many years. Numerous young drivers admitted they learned a great deal from his racing style, especially his skill in handling pressure, maintaining speed, and taking advantage of critical moments on the track. Kyle Busch also became widely recognized because of his family life with Samantha Busch. The couple married in 2010 after a long relationship, and Samantha frequently appeared beside her husband at NASCAR events, becoming a familiar figure among racing fans. Their marriage attracted major attention from American media, not only because of Busch's fame, but also because of their involvement in community activities and charitable efforts connected to reproductive health and infertility support. The Busch family included 2 children, Brexton and Lennox. Fans regularly saw images of Kyle Busch bringing his son to NASCAR garages or appearing together with his family at racetracks. Those moments helped make the image of the driver known as Rowdy feel more relatable and personal to the public. Brexton Busch also entered youth racing competitions early, following a path similar to his father's childhood. Many NASCAR fans noticed similarities between Brexton's driving style and Kyle Busch's aggressive approach, particularly in go-kart and dirt racing events. Alongside their family life, Kyle Busch and Samantha Busch openly shared their IVF journey and the challenges they faced during infertility treatment. Their honesty about the emotional pressure and difficulties involved received strong support from fans across the United States. After a lengthy process, the couple founded the Bundle of Joy Fund, an organization focused on helping families struggling to afford IVF procedures and fertility treatment. The Bundle of Joy Fund quickly gained support from the NASCAR community and several major sponsors. Kyle Busch frequently participated in fundraising events, auctions, and charity programs aimed at supporting couples dealing with infertility. The organization became one of the most meaningful projects connected to Busch outside the racetrack. Beyond charitable work, Kyle Busch also built several business ventures connected to motorsport. He operated his own truck series team and helped develop young drivers, some of whom later advanced to the NASCAR Cup Series. Busch also participated in branding campaigns and commercial partnerships, with the image of Rowdy appearing on products linked to motorsport fashion and racing collectibles. According to estimates mentioned by American media, Kyle Busch's net worth ranged between $80 and $100 million. His income came from race winnings, sponsorship agreements, advertising deals, and business activities developed throughout his professional career. Kyle Busch's life came to an end in a way that shocked many people, though his impact on NASCAR will continue being remembered for years to come. From a speed-loving boy in Las Vegas to the legendary driver known as Rowdy Busch, built a career filled with achievements, controversy, and unforgettable moments on American racetracks. If you love NASCAR and want to follow more unique stories like this one, subscribe to the channel right now and turn on notifications so you do not miss the latest videos.